everyone, I hope you're all fine. Well, today's lesson will be about the third condition, or what is called also conditional type 3. In this lesson, we will see the form and use of conditional type 3 and then do some exercises at the end to practice what we have learned. Let's get started. Let's see some examples first. Example number 1. Okay, so in this first example, we have Dunya wanted to buy an iPhone, but unfortunately she had no money. So we're going to say Dunya had no money yesterday, so she did not buy the iPhone. If you noticed here, the verbs had and did not buy, they are both in the simple past. So the conditional sentence here is going to be, if Dunya had money, she would have bought the iPhone. Example number 2. So in the second example here, we have Karim did not study hard for the exams, so he got a bad mark in the exams. So we're going to say Karim did not get a good mark in the baccalaureate exams because he did not study very hard last year. So if you noticed again, did not get and did not study, they are both in the simple past, okay? And actually, we regretted that Karim did not study hard, and the conditional sentence here is going to be, if Karim had studied hard last year, he would have got a good mark in the baccalaureate exams. Example number 3. So in the third example, we've got Sarah's father did not give her money, so she did not buy the book. And then she said, I did not buy the book because my father did not give me money. Okay, if you noticed again, the verb did not buy and did not give, they are both in the simple past again. And in this situation here, Sarah is regretting that or blaming her father for not giving her money. So we're going to say, or she's going to say, if my father had given me money, I would have bought the book. Now we move to the form, or what we call the structure. Okay, let's work with this example here. If I had studied hard, I would have passed the exam. Okay, so we have the first thing is F. We have F plus I, which is the subject, plus had studied, which is the past perfect, plus hard, which is the complement of the F clause, comma, subject of the main clause, plus would have, plus past, which is the past participle of the verb, and then finally plus the complement of the main clause, plus complement. But notice this is not always the structure. We can change it. We can start with the main clause, then the F clause. And when we start with the main clause, we start with the subject of the main clause. So subject plus would have plus past participle plus complement. And in the F clause, we have F plus subject plus past perfect and then plus complement. But when we start with the main clause, we don't put the comma between the two clauses. When do we use conditional type 3? We use the third condition to express regret. For example, if I had revised my lessons, I wouldn't have got a bad mark. Secondly, we use it to express imaginary situations in the past and real or impossible situations. For example, if coronavirus had finished, we would have gone back to school. Number 3, to blame yourself or someone. For example, if you had given me the book, I would have revised well. There is something that I wanted you to remember. Remember that the positive situations change to negative and the negative situations change to the positive. For example, Brahim drank too much soap, so he had a stomach ache. If you notice here, the verb drank and had, they are positive verbs. So when we use the conditional type 3, we're going to use them in the negative form. We're going to say if Brahim hadn't drunk too much soap, he wouldn't have had a stomach ache. The same thing when we have the negative, we change it into positive. For example, Sarah did not succeed because she did not revise she didn't revise well. And the conditional sentence is going to be change the verbs didn't into positive. We're not to use the negative here. We're going to say, if Sarah had revised well, she would have succeeded. So before we move to the exercises, let me show you how you can make conditional type 3 sentence from a given situation, like the ones you have or you will have in the national exam. And by the way, I took all these examples from previous national exams. The question that you're going to have in the national exam is this: rewrite the sentences beginning with the words given. And then they give you sentences and they start with some words. So when they start with the F, which means you're going to apply the rule of the conditional type 2 or type 3. Okay, you just need to pay attention. So for example, here we have this example. We lost the game because our goalkeeper was not in good physical condition. So what is the step number 3 that you need to do is identify the cause, because the F is always followed by the cause. Okay, so here the cause is because our goalkeeper was not in good physical condition. This is the cause. And then we lost the game is the result or the consequence clause. Okay, the second thing you need to do is identify the verbs and see if they are in the positive or the negative form. For example, was not here is in the negative form because we have not. When we change it, we need to change it into positive. And in the F or the result clause, we have lost, which is positive. When we change it to negative. Okay, let's start with the cause. If our goalkeeper had been in good physical condition, we use had been here and it's positive. Okay, comma. Let's go to we lost the game. So we're going to say we wouldn't have lost the game. Wouldn't have lost is the negative form. Okay. Number 3, don't use the linking word in the F sentence because we're not going to use it in the F sentence. This sentence can also be said like this: if our goalkeeper had been in good physical condition, we would have won the game. Would have won is the same as wouldn't have lost. You can stop the video wherever you want and try to do the exercises and then come back to the corrections. Okay, let's see more examples. Rewrite the sentences beginning with the words given. Remember this question very much. Mark didn't apply for the job because he didn't get his diploma on time. Because he didn't get his diploma on time is the cause. So that's the cause we're going to start with. Very good. And the verb here is didn't get, and it's negative. We need to put it into positive. We're going to say had got his diploma on time, comma. We go to the other clause, which is the result clause. And then we say, what is the verb? The verb is didn't apply, and it is negative. We need to put it into the positive form. So we're going to say, he would have applied for the job. Yes, remember, because is not used. The linking word is not always used. Very good. Now let's go to example number 2. Malika dropped out of school because her father lost the job. So because her father lost his job is the cause. The verb in the cause here is lost, and it is positive. We need to put it into the negative form. So we're going to say hadn't lost his job. Okay, comma. And then we go to the result clause, which is Malika dropped out of school. The verb is drop out, and it is positive. We need to put it into the negative form. So we're going to say she wouldn't have dropped out of school. Okay, she wouldn't have dropped out of school. Very good. And then again, because is not used in the F sentence. Let's go to example number 3. My sister didn't take her medicine. She didn't feel better. The cause here is my sister didn't take her medicine. Okay, and the verb is didn't take. Didn't take is in the negative form. We need to put it into the positive form, and then we say had taken. So if my sister had taken her medicine, comma, she didn't feel better is the result. We're going to say the verb is didn't feel. Okay, so didn't feel is negative also. We need to put it into the positive. So we can say she would have felt. She would have felt better. So if my sister had taken her medicine, she would have felt better. Okay, so let's start with the example number 1. Layla didn't get a front seat at the theater because she didn't buy a ticket early. Because she didn't buy a ticket early is the cause again. Didn't buy is the verb and it's negative. Okay, so we're going to say if Layla had bought a ticket early. Okay, and then in the other one we have didn't get is negative, so we need to put positive. So she would have got a front seat at the theater. Okay, let's go to example number 2. I didn't finish the report yesterday because my computer broke down. Because my computer broke down is the cause. Broke down is the verb. Broke down is positive. We need negative. So if my computer hadn't broken down, I would have finished. Didn't finish is negative, so we're going to use would have finished the report yesterday. Very good. Let's go to example number 3. You didn't check the dictionary, that's why you made many spelling mistakes. So the cause here is you didn't check a dictionary. The verb is you didn't check, so didn't check is negative. We need positive. Had checked. So if you had checked the dictionary, you wouldn't. Because made here is positive, we need negative. Wouldn't. You wouldn't have made many spelling mistakes. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching.